warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Susela Mardani. I'm from class BBI number 4. Okay, I will reading chapter 10. Chapter 10. Is there a safe way to drink? Part 1. I have devoted most of my professional life to the problems of alcohol and its abuse, most recently as director of the National Institute on Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. So I have spent much of my time trumpeting the fact that alcohol is a drug and that alcohol abuse is the most serious drug problem this nation faces. Nonetheless, I believe firmly that alcohol can do more good than harm, for there is a safe way to drink. Part 2. Pharmacologically, alcohol is an anesthetic non-stimulant in moderate amount. It appears to stimulate because it inhibits those brain centers which resist lascivious outbursts as well as those which make us aware of action. Then we will feel basically aware and emotionally freer, but with increasing doses of alcohol puts to sleep the brain center which affect judgment, knowledge, and social control. Patient dosage can put us to sleep for keeps by anesthetizing the center which control breathing and habit. Part 3. Responsible people, therefore, must choose rather carefully the time, place, and circumstances of drinking. Obviously, if you are too engaged in complex mental or basically activities operating or driving a business, it is secretly appropriate to be under the influence of an anesthetic drug. On the other hand, if you are going to be sharing a meal or some other human interesting in a relaxed way, alcohol can be a rewarding enjoy to the experience, a true servant of men. Part 4. An essential point is that there is a now safe level of drinking. In preparing the second report, the Congress on Alcohol and Health, we found that researchers all over the world were independently using the same level to define safe or moderate drinking: 1.5 ounces of pure alcohol per day, the equivalent of their one match drinks of 100 proof whiskey, which is 50% of alcohol. For eggs, one glasses of beer or her a bottle of wine. Part 5. This limit, of course, is only a statistical average. For some people, even one drop of alcohol is too much. Nor there are findings permit saving up one day's ration in order to drink more than next day, and no time should any individual wishing to remain within the safe limit consume more than 1.5 ounces of pure alcohol in a single day. Part 6. Studies show that the driver who has consumed an amount of alcohol within this limit is no more likely to have an automobile accident than the driver who does not take any alcohol. But beyond this limit, when the blood alcohol level, the consumption of alcohol in the blood, begins to creep over the of 5% sober level, other risk of traffic accident jumps enormously by the time the blood alcohol level reaches a 0.2%. The life of most drunk drivers who are arrested, the risk of an accident is 100 times that of the non-drinking driver. And part 7. The manner of drinking is also crucial. One should always sip slowly. Alcohol is highly unusual for that. In that, at least 12% of it is absorbed directly from the stomach into the bloodstream without going through any digestive processes. Gulping alcohol produces sudden marked rise in the alcohol level in the blood and hence in the brain. Once alcohol is in the blood stream, nothing with the exception of a kidney dialysis machine can clear it from the blood more quickly than the body's unsteady metabolic rate of their quarters of an ounce of pure alcohol per hour. And part 8. Another Another rule of safe drinking is that food in the stomach, preferably protein or fatty products, effectively dries alcohol infection of our system. Food covers the stomach wall, making a capricious exhale. It also spawns up the alcohol and carries it gradually through the digestive process, slowing absorption and allowing the metabolism and brain to adapt. So, as an experienced drinker knows, the same Dastalkan with food in the stomach will provide a more pleasant outcome than alcohol on an empty stomach. And part 10. It's also best to drink in a relaxed setting. If I had to come up with an unhealthy drinking station, I would have created the American cocktail party, standing around and uncomfortably in a crowd of people of most of whom on one does not know. When tends to curb that first drink, people like to think that the alcohol at cocktail parties make it easier to get acquainted, and they cite the fact that strangers frequently pour off intimate details of their lives. In my judgment, a stranger entering in the misses so freely is not relating to you, he is relating to himself. Part 11. A medical colleague once tested this at a cocktail party when a woman was pouring out her heart to him. I have just murdered my grandmother, he said. The woman sweetly sighed. Isn't that nice? And babbled on. And part 12. Regardless of where and how you drink, what you accept from alcohol is what you get as with almost drugs. Exception is strongly related to outcome. If you are a part of a group that wants to act drunk, even with small doses, you all feel drunk. Part 13. It's best then to drink with people who set expectations that are socially useful and not destructive. Too many Americans preoccupied with drinking fair in this regard. We spend a good deal of time thinking about drinking or talking about it. Or likes advertisement imply that alcohol is proof of sophistication and worldliness. Or else it's funny just think about how we live when a comedian acts drunk. Thinking something is funny is society way of giving a social sanction. It is also sign of discomfort, for jokes are a safe way to ventilate a deeper worry. Study after study has shown that Americans are uncomfortable in believing almost guilt-ridden about their use of alcohol. Part, uh, Part 14. Why is this country so uptight about drinking? Is my opinion. One major reason is that our society places a great deal of stock in order and control, and being overdose with a drug means buying out of control. When we say someone who has lost control in trend or signs of control alcoholism entertaining because so many of us use alcohol. When we say alcoholic, we are afraid that we could become alcoholics also. Part 15. If our culture were more open and less guilty about alcohol, I think we could do more for people alcohol problems. We might also do more for our children. Surveys complete 1,975 so that children in this country between the ages of 12 and 17 are already manifesting severe alcohol abuse. In fact, 5% of these kids get drunk at least once a week. Part 16. What can parents do? For one thing, that can order the use of alcohol in the home and candid that we teach our children about alcohol very early. Toddlers knowledge that when mommy and daddy drink this particular liquid, they behave differently. The children can miss the fact that it's something special, especially we tell them they can have it because it's not good for you. Part 17. I see no harm in becoming more relaxed about alcohol in the home, even giving your child a taste if you're drinking and he wants it, why not? Other cultures do in matter of fact way. Chinese, Lebanese, Japanese, Jews in Iceland and Thailand, people do not think there is anything special about giving alcohol to their young. Nobody makes a fussy about it and these cultures use alcohol without appreciable problems. And part 18. Indeed, always to focus on alcohol in the context of alcoholism is, I think, to miss the point. If you are preoccupied with alcohol, if you are others in your environment are discomforted by this preoccupation, if alcohol interferes with your ability to function in other necessary ways, then you have an alcohol problem. Part 19. Our country is very concerned these days with safety and health. We have to remind ourselves that anything that affects human beings has a potential for harm. Integrity, even oxygen and water, those are essential of life, can harm or kill. So life is a risk, and I suspect the only sure way to be safe from disease and dying is to be dead. And uh, part 12, part 12, part part 20. But there are some safe limits that people can use in making their decisions about risk taking, such as choosing to drink or not to drink, or how much to drink. We ought to share with young people and all alike like the best available knowledge on such subjects, and then let each individual make up his or her own mind. Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.